Who should the All Blacks pick versus Italy in round 2 of the Nations Championship? Well, in this video, I'm going to be telling you who I think they should pick and who I think they probably will pick as well. But that being said, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I really do appreciate all the support. We've just surpassed 3,000 subscribers. I mean, we've been doing this for less than a year, so I'm honestly overwhelmed by all the support. The All Blacks fans are starting to come to the channel, and I really do appreciate it. But there is going to be a lot more All Blacks content coming out. Of course, the Greatest Rivalry series, I'll be covering every game, every team lineup, every predicted lineup, every match reaction, of course, every player ratings as well. So don't worry about that. I will be doing a lot of content for the All Blacks this year. So if you do enjoy the content, please hit the subscribe button and stick around because there's going to be a lot more where that came from. Alright, so let's start with the team I've selected here. So it is a bit different, but I don't think there's going to be too many changes to the actual 23. I just think there might be changes within the 23. And of course, this could be completely wrong. The All Blacks could go with a completely changed team against Italy, but I don't think they will. I think the All Blacks know that Italy will bounce back from that Japan game. Not the best game at all for Italy in Japan against a pretty solid Japan team, but definitely not near the standard they're going to be facing with the All Blacks. But that being said, this will be a very good test for the forward pack. I think the background of Italy also is pretty good on their day, but I think the kind of Italy forward pack right now has a proven track record to be kind of a nuisance to some of the bigger teams as well. We saw it against Ireland, we saw it when they beat Scotland, we saw it against France. They were in that game till about midway through the second half. We've seen it against England when they beat England. They can beat big teams, and they have beaten big teams. So I know the All Blacks will not take them lightly. The stadium's already sold out, but I do expect to see a few changes in the team. So let's get right into it. Starting off with the front row, I've gone for Xavier Numia at number 1, Asafo Amua at number 2, and Fletcher Newell at number 3. I was very tempted to put Tyrell Lomax in at number 18. Also, I have to say, I'm not aware of what injuries might be happening right now, if there's any smaller injuries. All I know about is the bigger injuries. I'm not too sure if there is smaller injuries of guys being out. So if there is, please correct me down below in the comments. And also, let me know if you disagree what players you would choose instead, because this is just my opinion. But hopefully this is as close as possible to the actual team. So Xavier Numia at number 1, Asafo Amua at number 2, and Fletcher Newell at number 3. I think it's a good chance to give a guy like Xavier Numia a chance. He was really good last week from the bench, playing with a lot of confidence, and you can just see with some of these players that are on form, like Xavier Numia, it's important to just play them as much as possible so they can, while they are in good form, really make a big impact and get their confidence up at this level and gather that really awesome experience that they can get from these games, because against Italy in the forward pack is a really tough challenge, and probably arguably this forward pack this week for Italy might, if they do pitch up, be a tougher task than the France forward pack last week without their much of their many star players. But this forward pack this week for Italy could pose a really tough challenge, and I think Xavier Numia, it might be the right time to play him at number 1 versus Italy. Number 2, my favorite player for the All Blacks, Asafo Amua. Let this guy have a start. We know what Cody Taylor's going to do. We saw it again last week against France. Cody Taylor is such a solid player. He will be a key part of this team going into the 2027 World Cup. Asafo Amua came off the bench, didn't get many touches, didn't get many opportunities, and he would have caused so much damage if he did. Give him a start against a very physical Italy team, but I don't think Asafo Amua will take a step back at all. I think, in fact, he will probably be the best player on the field if he does get 60 to 70 minutes under his belt. So that's just what I'm seeing. Asafo Amua in the form of his life, playing some incredible rugby. Let him start, give him some opportunities, because the last few seasons we've seen some good things from him at international level, but he's been injured a lot. So while he's not injured, we're hopefully not injured for the rest of his career, because he's one of my favorites. Give him a start alongside a guy like Xavier Numia as well, because they know each other, the cohesion's there. And of course, number 3, I've stuck with Fletcher Newell, a bit of a younger guy than Tyrell Lomax. So playing those younger guys together, yes, they are still experienced. Asafo Amua's got experience. Fletcher Newell's got a lot of experience. Xavier Numia, not so much at all. But play those guys together. Let them gain valuable experience, because Cody Taylor's not going to be there forever. But a guy like Fletcher Newell still has a lot of years left in him, alongside Xavier Numia and Asafo Amua as well. So that's just my thought process there. But let me know what you think down below. I think that could be a very good starting front row. And that's just not me saying I think that's going to be the starting front row from now on. I do expect guys like Ethan de Groot to come back in, because I thought Ethan de Groot had quite a solid game last week against France. And of course, I do expect Cody Taylor to be a starter or a number 16 going forward from the bench as well, but he will have a big impact in the team. Moving on to the locks, I've gone for Josh Lord and Sam Darry. Two players I think definitely had a really good game last week. So last week a few things happened, there was a few injuries, but then now we had Josh Lord and Sam Darry last week, and they were excellent. They were the key in that engine room for New Zealand, doing the unseen hard work, big carries, massive tackles, hitting the rucks extremely hard with a really good intensity, making Cam Roygaard's life a lot easier. And I think that is the perfect kind of opportunity now to play these guys together 2 games in a row, get them some cohesion together, get them playing together, get them understanding their game together, because if they can play like that going forward, I don't see any reason to remove these 2 guys from the team, because they were really good in that game. Of course, it's just been 1 game. We need to see it consistently. But Josh Lord and Sam Darry, they both play that style of rugby that they can keep that up for an entire season and not have a bad game. They can do that. So hope to see more of the good stuff from those 2, and they were really good together. So Josh Lord at number 4, Sam Darry at number 5. Now moving on to the loose forwards, this is where I've gone for 1 change. Not because I think the other guy needs to be dropped, just from a game time perspective. I've gone for Wallace Satiti at number 6, Luke Jacobson at number 7, and Ardie Savea at number 8. I've not dropped, but I've moved Peter Lakai to the bench, even though I think Peter Lakai probably is the right guy for the number 6 jersey right now. I just think now, while you have the opportunity before the greatest rivalry tour against the Springboks, find out which loose forward trio is the best one for you. I think Wallace Satiti and Peter Lakai will probably both be roaming between the starting lineup and the bench this year, if Luke Jacobson keeps up his insane form, because that game last week, he was everywhere. He was awesome. He played with a different intensity, he played with a different aggression. And I'll say it again, once a guy's ear is bleeding 1 minute into the game, you know this guy's an absolute beast, and you know he's going to have a good game. So really impressed by Luke Jacobson. But I think it's a good opportunity to see what a guy like Wallace Satiti can do before making your mind up before that Ireland must-win game next week. Because I think the team I've selected here for the All Blacks definitely can and probably will get the job done against Italy. But seeing what a guy like Wallace Satiti can do, especially coming back from a bit of an injury scare that happened in the Super Rugby, it's the perfect opportunity. But keep Luke Jacobson there. He was awesome. He adds a really good balance to the loose trio. I think he adds a very good balance, very good over the ball as well, really high work rate. Almost gives me that kind of Josh Lord, Sam Darry kind of a style of play where you can just do the unseen hard work very well. And if you have 3 guys like that in your team, in your forward pack, you're going to do very well, because those guys don't care about the individual highlights. They'll get the job done if they need to, but they will play their role to perfection on the field. So that's just what I've seen there. Number 8 and captain Ardie Savea. Give him as many caps as possible on captain. He's not going to go to the bench anytime soon. Potentially when it comes to the World Cup time and you have to make a decision, you could play a loose forward trio of Wallace Satiti, Luke Jacobson and Peter Lakai with Ardie Savea on the bench against a much weaker team. But you have to play your captain for these games. It's not going to be an easy game by any means. Italy is going to kind of want revenge for last week. They're going to try bounce back, and I think Ardie Savea is doing a really good job there as captain. So keep him there, get him more caps, more experience as captain as well. Moving on to number 9 and number 10, I've kept it the same with Cam Roygaard at number 9 and Ruben Love at number 10. Keep those guys playing together, keep the cohesion up. They've had a really good combination in Super Rugby. They looked good together last week. There's a few things Ruben Love needs to iron out in his game, but he's not going to be the perfect player right now. I don't think anybody can be the perfect player, and he's still early on in his international career. But what I did like was the confidence from him with that step, taking the line on, the way he playmate last week. I did like what I saw from him, but I expect to see a bit more this week against Italy as well. So keep those guys together at number 9 and number 10. I'll go on to the wings now. Number 11, I've gone for Fini Anganofo at number 11, and 14, I've kept Will Jordan at number 14. I thought Will Jordan was brilliant at number 14 last week. Keep him going there, keep the form up. I like how he's working into the line almost like a fullback sometimes even into the outside centre position. He works very well off his wing, and I've chosen to start Fini Anganofo at number 11 because I think the coaches know what they're going to get from Caleb Clarke. I think they know what they're going to get. I've moved him to the bench. He's a solid player, but I think right now with the form Fini Anganofo is in, and I hope I'm saying that right, it is very difficult to read and say, but if Fini Anganofo can get more experience right now with the form he's in, I think he can have a massive impact and add massive value to this All Blacks team. So I can see the way this All Blacks backline wants to play, and I think a guy like Fahey is the perfect guy for this backline with his sidestepping ability, with his ability to break the game wide open, with guys outside of him like a Quinn Tupaia, Geordie Barrett, Damien McKenzie, Will Jordan on the break, with Cam Roygaard as well. I think these guys can all make a really good backline, if not one of the best backlines in World Rugby right now. So looking at the backline I've chosen here, it looks very exciting. But for me, number 11, Fini Anganofo, and number 14, Will Jordan, who's been absolutely incredible. Looking at the centres there, I've gone for Jordie Barrett at 12 and Quinn Tupaia at number 13. You can't really mess about in the centres this week. They're playing against Juan Ignacio Breaks and Tommaso Menicello, one of the top centre pairings in the world. So that's going to be a very good battle once again. I thought last week was a really good battle with Mo Farah and Fabian Braubery versus these two. And I think this week could be even better. So keep those guys together, get them more caps together. They're both in form. And I think right now is the perfect opportunity where you have those combinations, keep them together, keep them going, keep them getting more cohesion, getting better on the field together with more experience. That is a very solid centre combination for the All Blacks. And I think honestly, those two versus Dale Lindy and Krill this year for the Springboks Rocket Rivalry Tour is going to be absolutely epic. All of them are physical, all of them are ball players, and all of them are absolute workhorses. So that should be very fun. Number 15, I've gone for Damien McKenzie. He is a fullback. Play him at fullback. He looks so comfortable there. I thought he was really good last week. He's got a very good boot out of hand. He can kick for poles as well. This guy is really good at fullback, and we've seen it so many times before when he played back in the day a bit more fullback than he did now. He is a natural fullback. He is a natural ball player from there. Will Jordan anyways works off his wings so well that you basically have two fullbacks there, in the fact that Will Jordan is such a high work rate player that he works off his wings so well. There is basically two fullbacks. So I like that selection there, and I thought honestly that was a really good selection from Dave Rennie last week. So hopefully we can see the same. Looking at the bench front row, I've gone for Samisoni Takiaho, Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Lomax. I think for Ethan de Groot and Tyrell Lomax, getting more game time will be really good for them. Ethan de Groot is a solid player, and I think with these props right now, this will be a very tough task in Italy, being a very good scrummaging team. So you got to play your strongest guys there. But I've gone for Samisoni Takiaho because he's an awesome player. This guy needs some game time right now, and I think right now is the perfect time to test Asafo Amua and Takiaho together as a 1-2 punch in the hooker position. I mean, I think right now, honestly, the All Blacks have the strongest hooker depth in the world, probably by far right now. I think Ireland's got some pretty good hooker depth with Tom Stewart, Kelleher, and Dan Sheehan. The Springboks as well, they got Malcolm Marks, and they got Jan-Hendrik Wessels and Johan Grobbelaar. But the All Blacks have Cody Taylor, Asafo Amua, and Samisoni Takiaho. All these guys are top-tier, world-class players, so you got to play them, and I think it's the perfect opportunity because you know what you're going to get from a Cody Taylor as well. He's played there many times before. Now, the two forwards on the bench for me, the other two forwards are gone for Tupou Vaa'i, if he is available. That I'm not too sure about, but I don't think Patrick Tuipulotu will be available. He pulled something in the warm-up last week, but if Tupou Vaa'i is available, I've gone for him at number 19. Then of course at number 20, Peter Lakai, one of my favorite players in the All Black team, a workhorse. He does the hard work really well, and he also has the skill set to be able to break the game wide open. He's an incredible athlete with a lot of speed and skill as well. So Peter Lakai number 20 and Tupou Vaa'i number 19 there. My bench forward pack here, Takiaho, Ethan de Groot, Tyrell Lomax, Tupou Vaa'i, and Peter Lakai, all really solid players to come onto the field together and keep that standard at the end of the second half. My three backs on the bench have gone for the same guys, except a change there at number 23. Cortez Ratimer, Billy Proctor, and Caleb Clark. Keep Caleb Clark in the team. He still can break the game wide open, and if you do get an injury on the wing, he's perfect cover there. Billy Proctor to cover the centers, and if they do get a really good lead in the second half, he's the perfect kind of guy to bring on if the game's wide open, if it's a running game. I do like the kind of option of maybe bringing him on alongside Jordie Barrett later in the game. If Quinn Tupaia had a really solid performance, just get him off the field, bring a guy on like a Billy Proctor who can still get the job done as well. Cortez Ratimer, not as good as Cam Roigard, but still a solid player in the number 9 jersey, well, 21 jersey for this, but I do expect him to maybe get a little bit more game time this week because the All Blacks know exactly what they're going to get from Cam Roigard. It's going to be fireworks, it's going to be talent on display at all time. And of course, 23, Caleb Clark, because right in for Fehi Finianganofo, those two swapping right in for each other, just to see what Finianganofo can do. And of course, Caleb Clark, we know what he can do as well. So that is my 23, my predicted lineup. The team I think should play against Italy for the All Blacks. Not too many changes, only changes within the 23, and of course only Samisoni Takiaho and Tupou Vaa'i coming back in. But just going over the team one more time, Xavier Numia, Asafo Amua, and Fletcher Newell in the front row. The locks, Josh Lord and Sam Darry. Loose forwards, Wallace Atiti, Luke Jacobson, and Ardy Savia. Number 9 and number 10, Cam Roigard and Ruben Love. The wings, Fehi Finianganofo and Will Jordan. Centers, Jordie Barrett and Quinn Tupaia. Fullbacks, Damien McKenzie. And the replacements, Samisoni Takiaho, Ethan de Groot, Tyrell Lomax, Tupou Vaa'i, Peter Lakai, Cortez Ratimer, Billy Proctor, and Caleb Clark. So let me know down below in the comments if you agree or if you do disagree. Let me know why and let me know what players you would change. Thank you so much for all the support, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.